The Jim and Terry Show. Not oblivious to the suffering of others.
Not at all. It's funny, Rudy Giuliani is begging Trump to pay his bills. I bet you he's begging Trump to pay what he owes him.
That's the thing, begging for what is owed,
Yeah.
not begging for something in addition or for something, I'll give you future considerations. Can you give me $10 million now, cover my legal costs? Yeah. No, it's what I've already done. Yeah. And what has Rudy Giuliani done?
Well, other than he made an announcement yesterday or the day before, he was glad what came down, this racketeering came down charge, because nobody knows more about racketeering than him. That's what he said. He said that.
About prosecuting it or about defending against it?
Well, he said, I've never felt so good I got up. And I'm thinking, you're catering to the big boss, hoping he wins so you get off. That's the only thing that could be, because you should be scared, Rudy. You should be scared. You're gone broke, your reputation's ruined, and you supported a very, very evil-acting man.
I'm very curious. We might call this episode, if we want to expand it, but starting with Rudy Giuliani, we can use the title, How the Mighty Have Fallen.
Yeah, well, some don't think they have fallen yet, but you know what I told you. I'm convinced Trump's going to flee the nation. It looks to me that he's finally got to the place where he can't get out of this. He's going to go broke. Now, he'll make millions about people supporting him, but he's got a very minimal, apparently, law team, like 10, and he's got like how many indictments for and with how many charges, 91 or something. I mean, he is for the entire year tied up in court.
Okay, if we go back to the title that I offered, How the Mighty Have Fallen, I would not put Trump in that category necessarily, because his reputation, as far as I always knew Trump, was mud anyway. So I would not.
Not with his followers, man.
No,
he's God
well, let's
sent,
talk about the politics aside. Let's talk about the character, Rudy Giuliani. Yeah. This is where we started.
Yes.
How the Mighty Have Fallen. He was known by his reputation in a tough state, New York State, and a gangster state. Yep. So the mob, the Italian mob, is in New York, thick as thieves. I don't know if that's a right expression. Maybe they are. A lot of them, and they are thieves.
And he cleaned it up. He cleaned a lot of it up.
He used RICO laws to get the whole, and I think one of them is the Gambino family, and one of them is,
I don't know, but he cleaned a lot of it up. And then, of course, 9/11, he became the nation's
no longer
mayor.
New York's mayor, but
the nation's mayor.
Yes.
But he got tied up with Trump. And everybody that gets tied up with Trump, everybody shall fall. And what do you got there? What's that book?
What's that book, Jim?
Everything Trump touches dies.
By Rick Wilson?
Yeah. And that's sort of true if you want to take a look at it.
It's
Everybody
not
ends
just
up
sort
mud.
of true. It's very
actually
true.
Okay,
it's very true. And the number of examples have only, this book was published like 4 years ago.
I know.
And so the number left in the wake of Trump's destruction,
he had
the numbers are hundreds and hundreds.
He had 4,000 legal situations going on before he became president. 4,000.
Well, to me, the escalator trip down was a surreal moment, because I was aware of not 4,000, but I was aware of a lot of it. And I was convinced as well that he had escaped justice for so many years that he had what I would call the Teflon Don syndrome. Nothing stuck. He would outspend his opponents in legal cases until they had no more money to throw at it, or he would take them right down to the wire, bankrupt them, and then do a plea deal, or somehow he escaped.
Well, the main way you escape is you throw money at it.
Yeah.
And that is you just keep appealing and clogging up the courts because whoever's suing you hasn't got that kind of money. And so I'm suing Donald Trump for $200,000 he owes me to do the plumbing in one of his resorts. And he just keeps it in court, which is amazing to me because he spends that much money on his lawyers. I don't know why you wouldn't pay who you owe instead of tying it up in courts. But I guess, who knows? Maybe some of those guys lose and they have to pick up the court costs.
Maybe it's all about power and not about money.
Well, we know that
he can make the little guy squirm.
Well, we know that with the election because he could not face the embarrassment of losing. That was his main, what it appears to be his main drive. This is embarrassing. Help me get this turned around. So he was willing to take the whole nation down in order to save his ego. That's how I feel. It may be wrong. Now, I know other people are out there saying, well, what about Biden? Everybody's corrupt. Okay, if they are, I hope they all meet justice. You know, if Biden's corrupt, if he did benefit from Hunter's dealings, and if Hunter did benefit with his father being the president, they are investigating that as we speak. That's in investigation. But just like the Trump one, people have to understand it's not a government going after them. This is the legal department, the DA's office and all this that are saying we can only go so far. Now we have to press charges.
This is what they call projection, which is everything that the Republicans and the far right or the MAGA world are accusing Biden of is what they are guilty of and have been guilty of for 4 previous years with Trump, which is to, say that it's the DOJ, it's Biden's DOJ, it's Biden's military, it's Biden's whatever that's doing all this stuff. He's the problem. When they didn't say a word when it was Trump manipulating his attorney general. It was Trump manipulating the appointments
Trump,
of his
Terry.
military. It was Trump who was doing all of this stuff. The GOP said nothing. They enabled the whole thing for 4 years, and now in 2 years afterwards, they have said nothing as well.
But you see, Trump understood that it was his DOJ too.
Yes.
That's why
Because
he
he's
did,
the mob boss.
Well, that's what he is, and that's what he tried to do. So what people think, what the far right, if you like, think, is exactly what Trump thought. That's why when he got the attorney general, you obey me.
Yeah.
That you're my commanders.
Or you're fired.
You're my commanders, or I'm firing you, and on and on.
I'll replace you.
So that's exactly what Trump believed was his as president. I get to control all these people, and of course, if he gets elected again, he'll throw out all the cases against him, and he'll escape it again, and that still is a possibility.
I'm not sure how much of a possibility that is. I have hope. High hopes, I have high hopes. There's a song for everything. Okay, my hope is in the institutions. That the institutions are, let's use a theological word, transcendent. That means it doesn't matter whether it's a Democrat or Republican. DOJ's there. It doesn't matter who you are. DOJ serves justice, not serves a party or a president. The military serves the country, not a party or a president.
Well, this is why it's possible civil war as well. Because if he gets in, he's going to say they were all lying all along. He's got 50 million, 70 million people in the United States that would believe that lie and go with him. So therefore, he will just clean it, all the legal departments clean it all out. And in that cleaning, well, you won't find any remnant of his filth. So he can't win. If he wins, I think I said it before, I don't know if I'll ever be driving down through the United States again because I can't see it being peaceful.
Well, let's go back to the title again because we keep straying from the theme. The theme was how the mighty have fallen. I'm going to use the word mighty to mean the people of character or reputations. And we look at Giuliani and how he fell from that great reputation as a law enforcement person, someone who cared about crime, to now enabling and abetting crimes, hiding crimes, obstructing investigations of crimes, participating in a crime. Like he's in it as thick as you can get.
He's surrendered to a mob boss.
Yes, he has.
Donald Trump.
People sell their souls. That's one way of looking at how the mighty have fallen. What did it take to make you sell your soul? In Rudy Giuliani's case, you might have thought it was hitching your wagon to a stallion to the Trump train and going off in the sunset.
My friend is
with
the
gold
president.
and-
My friend is the president.
My friend is the president.
But you know what, Rudy? Are you getting your money from that friend? No, he's no friend of yours. Never ever was.
Speaking of
He's
money
just using
not coming to people who are owed, Jenna Ellis is complaining too. One of the Trump lawyers, like Sidney Powell, who's accused. How many lawyers are in the 19? I forget. It was like 6 or 7 lawyers.
They're screwed
so
too. Their
what
lives
did
are
you
ruined.
do? What did you give up to do this thing that you have done?
Yeah.
What price were you willing to give?
I think the other question is, and I actually hope it comes out in the trials when they come in March or whenever they're coming. the real motive behind what you're doing, because a lot of them they knew they were in a lie. They knew they were actually planning to overthrow the government of the United States. We cannot forget that. That's how serious this was. They were willing to go with a dictator. They were willing to do that for self-gain.
The other side always says it was a picnic. There was no violence there. There was a family gathering. I know you chuckle, and I chuckle too, but to play the devil's advocate, that is what they actually say on TV, on Fox, Newsmax, OAN, whatever you want to.
Well, when they interview the people, the people don't have a clue.
No.
They don't want to see. You see, lots of times people don't want to look, so they won't look because they don't want to be wrong. They're already, all their neighbors are,
they got Trump flags on their
lawns. They got
lawns.
the Trump flags and everything else. They can't go against that. How can they get out? They can't get out. They're trapped. They're part of the Trump army.
Wow, they're trapped.
That's just the way human beings are. It's the same as imagine a trucker with the flags and on his pickup and everything goes, you know what? I don't think I believe this anymore. Oh, yes, you have to believe it.
So once you've been suckered, it's hard to get out?
Yeah, really hard to get out. I can see
because
that happening.
What? Pride would keep you stuck?
Well, what you do is you just don't look at the evidence anymore. You only look where you're going to be
stop
confirmed.
Looking. So this is bias confirmation or affirmation.
But not only that, humans are funny, Terry.
Yeah, we
want excitement. We want to be a part.
I don't.
Why on earth?
I like my comfort.
But why on earth would you join Satan's Choice or Hell's Angels? Why would you do that? There's no logical reason that you'd want to get involved in a bunch of wrongdoers unless you find some kick out of it.
It's a club.
Well,
you want membership. Yeah. It's socialization.
Yeah.
We're all in this together. Buddies in bad time, whatever you want to call the association. Yeah, you all got your reasons. So to wrap it all up, the theme was how the mighty have fallen. We talked about Giuliani, especially from America's mayor to a thug. What? Yeah, Jenna Ellis, who's complaining about no money from Trump. Who else has Trump not paid?
Giuliani.
A lot of them. There you go. The mighty have fallen. Not the Jim and Terry show. We're still here.
Wah.